WWE, was targeted in a shocking post-match assault by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. The ambush was as merciless as it was unexpected, leaving Roman battered, bloodied, and carried out on a stretcher while the crowd watched in stunned silence. For a man who has ruled WWE with an iron grip for years, the image of Reigns laid out, struggling to breathe, was difficult for fans to process. This wasn't just another storyline beatdown. It felt personal, calculated, and designed to send a message that even Roman Reigns could be broken. Roman Reigns speaks from the hospital days. Later, fans were given an update when Roman Reigns appeared in a pre-recorded video message from his hospital bed. His ribs were tightly bandaged and bruises lined his face, but his voice carried the same authority and conviction that have defined his reign as WWE's tribal chief. Roman began by addressing the WWE Universe. Paris wasn't the first time I've been attacked, and it won't be the last. But understand this, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. And as long as I'm breathing, this story isn't over. The camera lingered on his determined expression, showing no signs of defeat despite his battered state. Roman then turned his attention directly to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, calling them impatient men blinded by greed, who don't understand the weight of what they've awakened. Perhaps most intriguing, however, was what Roman said next. He hinted at unfinished business with someone from his past, someone who once stood by his side in the most dominant faction WWE has ever seen. The tease of Jon Moxley. The mention was subtle, but unmistakable. Roman referred to a brother forged in war, a man who knows betrayal and pain as well as I do. To longtime fans, this line was a clear nod to Jon Moxley, formerly known in WWE as Dean Ambrose. For years, fans have speculated about whether Moxley, now one of the biggest stars outside of WWE, would ever return. His time in the Shield alongside Roman and Seth Rollins defined an era, and his departure from WWE left a hole that has never truly been filled. Roman didn't say Moxley's name outright, but the implication was enough to set social media ablaze. Could the former Shield brothers reunite in some form to combat the chaos now threatening Roman? Or was Roman simply invoking Moxley's name to send a psychological message to his enemies? The history of brotherhood and betrayal. To fully appreciate the weight of Roman's words, it's important to revisit the history of the Shield. Debuting in 2012, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose burst onto the scene as an unstoppable unit. Together, they dismantled legends, dominated main events, and changed the very landscape of WWE. But in 2014, it all came crashing down when Seth Rollins betrayed the group, leaving Roman and Ambrose stunned and broken. While Roman rose to become the face of WWE, and Ambrose eventually left the company, the memories of their brotherhood and its violent collapse have haunted them ever since. By invoking Moxley's name, Roman wasn't just teasing a potential reunion. He was reaching into the past, acknowledging that the wars they fought together might once again shape the battles of the future. The WWE Universe reacts. The reaction to Roman's hospital message was immediate and overwhelming. Fans flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with theories, speculation, and emotional posts. If Moxley comes back to help Roman, I'm losing my mind. That's history in the making. Roman's message was chilling. He's hurt, but he's not broken. This is far from over. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker just signed their death warrants. Bloodline plus Moxley? Forget it. The possibility of a Moxley return dominated fan discussions, overshadowing even the results of the pay-per-view itself. For many, the idea of seeing Roman and Moxley back on the same page after all these years is a dream scenario. The enemy's circle. Meanwhile, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker have embraced their role as WWE's newest villains. In interviews following the attack, they showed no remorse, boasting about leaving Roman in a hospital bed and claiming that the era of the tribal chief is over. Their confidence is not unfounded. Together, they are one of the most dangerous duos WWE has seen in years. Breaker brings explosive speed and ruthless intensity, while Reed uses his size and power to overwhelm opponents. Their alliance has made them a near unstoppable force, and their willingness to cross lines sets them apart from traditional rivals. But if Roman truly aligns with Jon Moxley, their momentum could come to a screeching halt. What this means for Seth Rollins. Another question raised by Roman's hospital statement is where Seth Rollins fits into all of this. As the third member of the Shield, his history with both Roman and Moxley is complex. Rollins and Roman have fought countless times for supremacy, while Rollins' betrayal in 2014 remains one of WWE's most infamous moments. If Moxley does return, would Rollins be drawn into the fray? Would we see an uneasy reunion of all three Shield members, or would old wounds prevent that from happening? The potential storylines are endless, and fans are eager to see how WWE navigates this delicate balance of history, rivalry, and redemption. Roman's resilience. Above all, Roman's message reminded fans of why he has been at the top of WWE for so long. Even from a hospital bed, he projected strength, focus, and determination. His resilience has become his trademark, and this moment was no different. While his body may be bruised, his mind remains sharp, and his will remains unshaken. Roman has faced leukemia, betrayals, and countless challengers, yet he always finds a way to rise again. This latest setback will likely be no different. Looking ahead, as WWE looks toward its next major events, all eyes will be on Roman Reigns and the fallout from Paris. Will Jon Moxley actually return to stand alongside his former Shield brother? Will Roman seek vengeance alone, or will he rally the bloodline for war? And how will Seth Rollins react if his name becomes part of this unfolding drama? One thing is certain, the WWE landscape has been shaken to its core. The tribal chief has spoken, and his words have set the stage for a battle that feels bigger than championships. It's about legacy, family, and unfinished business. Closing thoughts. Roman Reigns' hospital message was more than just an update on his condition. It was a declaration of intent. By hinting at a possible alliance with Jon Moxley, Roman has reignited fan interest in one of wrestling's most legendary brotherhoods, while setting the stage for an epic war against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. The WWE Universe now waits with bated breath. Will the unthinkable happen? Could the Shield's bonds, fractured but never forgotten, be reforged in the fires of revenge? For Roman, this isn't just about survival. It's about proving, once again, why he is the tribal chief, and why no attack, no matter how brutal, can truly keep him down.